Hi, and welcome back to my channel, DaSilva Lining. If you're new here, I'm Yolanda DaSilva, and here we talk about tips, tools, skills that you can use to develop a healthy mindset, one that will allow you to design the life of your dreams, the life that you deserve. It's been a little bit since I've recorded a video or posted a video, and I wasn't sure what was going on with myself. So I had to do some reflection and gain an understanding as to like what was going on. Why couldn't I get it together? I mean, I would set up, do everything, sit down to record, and things were just, I was just getting stagnation. And I tend to really try to listen to what's happening with me versus trying to like push through something that's stuck. I kind of just take a pause to kind of reflect. So I thought I would make this video about maybe the 5 things that I did to help me get to a point where I could record. This is my first recording since I stopped. I will say, though I talk about mindset and shifting your mindset to live the life that you want, I too sometimes still get stuck. I still get stuck in that loop in my brain. I came from a low income household at first. I was a child, raised in poverty. And so sometimes, I get stuck in that poverty mindset, and poverty mindset doesn't always just mean money wise, but also just a lack, like where, for you to have things, you have to really try really hard, or for good things to happen to you, it's because you have to be deserving, or like a lot of negative core beliefs. And so although you reach a height where you've I've let go of a lot of those negative core beliefs, there's still times where I need, to check my mindset and where I can get stuck. And I think that that's what happened. Like, something was said and it kind of hit me wrong, and it sat there, and it took some time for me to get over it, to be able to push through it. And really, what I'm going to share with you guys in this video are the things that I did that led me to finally starting to record again. But yeah, so here are 5 things that I did to overcome stagnation. So if you're feeling blocks, if there are things that you want to do, goals that you want to set and achieve, but you're struggling to just take action, these are the things that helped me to kind of shift my mindset to get me to record again and to post videos and get on that trajectory. And one action step is enough. So I'm going to take things one day at a time. Today I'm recording this video. Maybe I get to record another and put it out there within the next few weeks or a couple of days. But I'm going to take it as it comes. And this is a journey that we're going to go on together, right? Mind shift isn't just one and done. It's not like, oh, this is not the way to think. This is the right way to think. Okay, I'm just going to choose this way to think, and then believe that everything in my life is just going to shift from that. We're all constant works in progress. And I think it's okay and it's understandable to sometimes get stuck or take a step back. But what's more important is that you recognize it and you move forward. So the first thing that I did to help me, remove the mental blocks, or to shift my thinking and to get me motivated again, was I elevated my thinking. And by doing that, meaning I chose to use positive self-talk on a much more grander scale. I was very intentional about using positive self-talk. Most of us are default, we are programmed, conditioned to engage in negative thinking. I think I might have done a video on that, And we don't recognize how much we do it to ourselves all the time. And so, for example, like your default, meaning like your conditioning, if people growing up always talk to you in a negative way, or your caregivers, you were surrounded in your environment, it was very normal to talk in a very negative way to each other, then you adopt that behavior and don't even recognize, like, oh, I lost my keys. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm such an idiot. How did I lose my keys? Like, those are things, like when you say those negative things to yourself, it's not helpful. And it really starts to impact your mood and how you function and behave. So I really became super intentional about using positive self-talk. And a way that I use, or way that I can do that, is by not focusing on how I engage in negative self-talk, but then just really designating time for always using positive affirmations or using quotes, really saying things to myself like, I am worthy, I am powerful, I always have enough, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in life, independent of what is going on, whether it's perceived to be a challenging time, a hard time, a negative time. If I'm having complications in relationships, I still will say to myself, like, if this is happening for me, not to me. There's a lesson here, and it'll all end the way that it's intended to end, or everything that's being done, everything that I'm experiencing right now is for my greater benefit. I might not understand now, but I'll get it at some point. And typically, in my experience, that's always been the case. Even when I'm going through a really challenging time, when things evolve or I reach the end of something, I can always look back and like, wow, like I now understand why I had to go through that, or it made so much sense. Like, and it's usually I'm in a better position. I'm in a better place. So I was very intentional about using affirmations, positive self-talk, using reframing. So reframing, I always like to say, is like, the content of what's happening, right? So the words that are on this page, I can't change. Those are the words on the page, but how I choose to view, or how I choose to hold, this book changes how I can view the situation. So I can put myself through discomfort to hold it upside down, because if I hold it upside down, the words are still the same, but I cause myself some discomfort to look at it. Or I can choose to view it in a way that's the least resistant, the least discomfort. The second thing that I did was I watched a lot of YouTube videos, research purposes, I guess. No, I love YouTube. I hope you all use it. I always call it the University of YouTube, because it's entertainment, it's education, it's knowledge, it's meditation. There's so many different areas, or it's so vast. So the things that I get pulled to or called to, and probably the algorithm draws me to, are certain videos about enlightenment and change and how to be your best self. Lisa Nichols is somebody who I watch and I take in. I also watched a lot of Wayne Dyer, rest his soul. He had other teachings, but I enjoyed Wayne Dyer, Lisa Nichols, Matt Frazier in terms of spirituality. I love Matt Frazier for so many reasons, but he's a spiritual medium, or a medium, psychic medium, and I like the spiritual realm, and I like talking about it, and I believe in that. So his videos are always uplifting. And so speaking of uplifting and spirituality, the third thing that I did was I had a energy therapy. In not too far from where I live, there's a healing or energy center. And so I went on their website, booked a session. I did what's called integrated energy therapy. And really, it's like an hour long or 75 minutes long, where the woman just does energy work. So it's not really touching me, but I don't know, Google it, look it up. I also brought out my crystals. So I'm not huge on crystals, but I do keep things around the house. Or like when I first moved in this house, I walked around saging it. And every so often, my daughter and I, my youngest one, we walk around saying we are happy, healthy, and wealthy, and we kind of sage the house. I buy crystals, and I just hold them and ask for positive energy to be poured into me. like I said, I don't know too much about crystals and what all of them are for. I'd probably have to like Google which one is this one. But I know I have one for money. I have one for good health. I have one for love. And so I just hold on to them and set intentions for the day. And I feel like it helps put me into a great space and believing that that I have, my home is surrounded by positive energy, that I'm surrounding myself with positive energy, energy of abundance and prosperity and good health and wealth. The fourth thing that I did is something that comes incredibly naturally. This I know or incredibly naturally to me, this I know I've made a video on, and that is gratitude work. I really feel like gratitude, anytime you practice gratitude, it's going to literally shift your life. If you don't do any of the other things that I mentioned, and you only do one, choose the gratitude work. Gratitude will literally change your life. So I already made a video about that, so I'm not going to get too much into how I did that. But what I didn't do it a traditional way. So I didn't do it based on how that video. Actually, some of the times I did list it and do all that stuff. But what I did this time was more walking around like my space and being grateful for my space, being grateful for my home. Because we're going into spring, summer soon. And as a first-time homeowner, and I'm single, there's a lot of responsibilities to maintain the house. Things happen where repairs out of nowhere. The repairs. I had quite a few in the last few months where it's like, unexpected repairs, and where is this money going to come from? And automatically kind of like retreating into that fear space. I know if any of you out there, like a homeowner, is like something always happens, and then it could be something as little as $50 or $20 to repair, or $2,500 while you're about to get onto a plane to another country, that you find out that, you need to make this plumbing repair. Anyway, I digress. But literally, like, it can really rock you. It rocked me. A lot of things were happening in my house all at once. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And I began to see my house as like a burden and a chore, and really starting to kind of question and second guess myself. Like, did I make the right decision to buy this home on my own and all of this? And then I just stopped. Where I was focused, and this is where you can use reframing, right? Where I was focused on the burden and the chores of maintaining the house and the property, as I started thinking about, well, at least I have the privilege of being a homeowner, right? So yes, I had this plumbing issue, but at least I have the privilege of being a homeowner, that I have to address a plumbing issue. That's the gratitude that I did, versus seeing things, and the reframing, right? So versus seeing things as a chore, a burden, a responsibility, I saw it as a luxury. I began to see things as a luxury, being thankful for being a homeowner, being a privilege to have these things. The fifth thing that I did was I started to recognize, like, I need to be still, kind to myself, be patient with myself, forgive myself. So I don't know that's number 5. What do you call that? Just being still, being kind, being patient, showing myself compassion, all the things that I think I would do if a friend came to me saying, hey, I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time, I'm not sure what it is, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I provided myself with self-encouragement by just being kind. And it's like, okay, if you made a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You're human. Don't perseverate on it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just move on. Show ourselves some compassion and really treat ourselves kindly, whatever that means to you. So by being kind to myself was like, I don't have to take on 1,000 tasks. I don't have to, even if I have nothing to do, I don't have to say yes to other people. It's okay for me to say, no, I'm not going to this event. Not because I don't like you, not because I don't want to, but just because I need to maybe relax and recharge. And so shift your mindset to let go of the things that hold you back. One thing, that's really important is that when you refocus and think about you, and I think especially for women, we're taught that when we focus on ourselves and our desires and our wants and our needs, that's selfish because we're supposed to put everyone else ahead of us. And, how many women will say, well, as long as the kids are taken care of and as long as the household is taken care of, as long as my partner is taken care of, then I'll be good. And so that conditioning of I'll be good as long as everybody else's needs are met, then that programs us to think that we can't be good people then if we're invested in meeting our needs or meeting our needs first. And that's not true. I think that's one of the biggest beliefs that a lot of women need to dismantle. You can put your needs first. You can take care of your emotional health, your physical well-being first. And I think when you do those things, you can then show up even better for the other people in your life. Because if you've met your needs and then you're more content and you're more happy, and that's how you're showing up in everyone's lives versus tired and doubting and lack of confidence and self-conscious and giving from that energy. Give to yourself, feed your soul, feed your body, nourish yourself, and then worry about, it'll organically present itself to others around you if you're taking care of you. So I encourage you, do whatever feels good to you, whatever brings you joy, but take action. Don't get stuck or caught up in the head and the loop and the constant thinking about what you should do. Just do something, right? So I gave you 5 things that I do. I elevate my thinking. I watch YouTube videos. I worked on energy using my crystals and doing actual energy integrated energy therapy. I practice gratitude. And then 5 is just choosing joy, being kind, being compassionate to yourself, and forgiving yourself and accepting that you are perfectly made, and I am perfectly made. And yeah, let's see where this goes. Thank you if you watched this whole video. I appreciate you, and I hope you come back and watch more videos. Bye.